So, Block just dropped another massive quarter. But you know the headlines never really tell the whole story. The real juicy details, the stuff that tells you where things are really going, that's all buried in the investor Q&A. So let's dive in and unpack the key strategies Block's leadership revealed when they were on the spot.
And that's really the big question, right? The numbers on the surface look amazing, but what are the actual engines under the hood that are making this thing go? Well, it turns out the answers got super clear during the investor Q&A, and they point to a few really powerful connected strategies.
So yeah, this is what we're going to focus on. We're going to break down the strategic pillars that the executives laid out when analysts started asking the tough questions. This gives us a kind of insider's view of what's working for them right now, and more importantly, where they're placing their biggest bets for the future.
All right, here's the game plan. We're going to hit 4 core ideas today. First, we'll get into the Cash App flywheel and see how they're turning regular users into super users. Then, we'll check out the credit engine that's basically pouring fuel on the fire. After that, we'll break down Square's plan for winning bigger businesses. And finally, we'll look at their huge ambition for AI. Let's get into it. First up, the Cash App flywheel. Now, the strategy here is actually pretty simple, but it's brilliant. Step 1, get a massive number of people using the app. Step 2, systematically make every single one of those users more and more valuable. Let's see how they're pulling it off. It all starts right here. 58 million people using the app every month. And that's not just a huge number. The crazy part is that its growth is actually speeding up. During the Q&A, they confirmed that growing this network is their top priority, and the trends look great. This is the fuel for the entire engine. But just having a ton of users isn't the whole game. The key is what they're doing with them. They're actively turning casual users into what they call primary banking customers, people who treat Cash App like their main bank. And that number is already up to 8.7 million. That's a huge shift. And this is where the rubber meets the road. When you get more of those engaged primary banking customers, you make more money, plain and simple. A 25% jump in profit per user is a massive signal that their strategy is absolutely working. The flywheel is spinning faster and getting more profitable with every single rotation. So you might be wondering, how are they actually doing this? Well, they laid out the playbook in the Q&A. They're making the app simpler to use. They're adding these cool social features like pools, which people have already created 1.5 million of, and they're going after the next generation, with 5 million teens now using the app every month. It's a full court press to grow and engage. Okay, let's move to the second pillar, because this builds right on top of the first one, the credit engine. The execs made it super clear that products like Borrow and Afterpay, they're not just features. They are the rocket fuel for the entire Block ecosystem. And man, the growth numbers are just insane. Originations for their Borrow product are up 134% from last year, with these incredibly healthy 24% net margins. Meanwhile, the newer Afterpay product, well, it's already at a $3 billion run rate and is scaling even faster than Borrow did. But this isn't just about the numbers for them. The CFO, Amrita Ahuja, really put a purpose behind this whole strategy. She talked about this massive opportunity to help people that traditional banks just ignore. So this isn't just a business plan. They see it as a mission to open up access to credit. And here's the real magic. This is the kicker. When a user takes out a Borrow loan, they become dramatically more valuable across the board. Amrita revealed that these users bring in 3 times more money, they spend twice as much on their Cash App card, and they stick around 3 times longer. Credit is the superglue for the entire ecosystem. All right, let's switch gears and hop over to the other side of the business, Square. For years, the big question has been whether Square could ever be more than just the little card reader at your local coffee shop. Well, the Q&A basically confirmed their strategy to go after bigger businesses isn't just a plan anymore. It's happening right now. I mean, just look at these growth rates for payment volume. Sellers doing more than $500,000 a year grew 20%. International markets grew 26%. This is the hard proof that their push to go upmarket and go global is delivering some really impressive results. So how are they pulling this off? It's basically a classic 2-pronged attack. First, they built a real sales team, going from basically 0 to over 100 people on the ground this year. At the exact same time, they took their dozen-plus software products and simplified them down into just 3 simple tiers. It's a perfect combo, more salespeople with a much easier product to sell. And that brings us to the future. If those first three things are what's driving growth today, AI is what Block is betting on to be their ultimate advantage tomorrow. Jack Dorsey laid out this vision that goes way, way beyond just another chatbot.
And he made the vision really concrete. For Square businesses, he wants to build a virtual COO, an AI that actually helps you run your business. And for Cash App users, he's talking about a virtual CFO, a personal AI financial advisor that helps you save and grow your wealth. This is about automating finance for everybody. And here is Block's ace in the hole. Jack explained that their AI won't just learn from the old static internet like everybody else's. No, it's going to be trained on the real-time, living, breathing financial data that's flowing through their system every second. That allows the AI to be truly proactive, not just reactive.
Okay, wow, that was a lot to cover. So let's pull it all together. Let's distill everything we heard in that Q&A down to the 4 most important takeaways. First, that Cash App flywheel is very real, and it is spinning fast. They're not just collecting users anymore, they're systematically turning them into deeply engaged, highly profitable banking customers. It's a perfect virtuous cycle. Second takeaway, credit is the secret weapon. It's the engine that makes the whole ecosystem go. Offering products like Borrow literally triples how long users stick around and doubles how much they spend. It's not just a feature, it's the glue holding their financial world together. Third, the idea that Square is just for the little guys is officially history. They've cracked the code on winning bigger clients by combining a classic playbook, a real sales team, with a modern solution, radically simplified software. It proves their model can scale way up. And finally, AI is the end game. Block isn't just adding AI features, they're trying to build a totally new kind of financial partner. And their key advantage is their data. Not stale info from the web, but the real-time financial pulse of millions of people. That's their path to creating a financial brain for everyone. And all of this really leads to one final huge question. Block's ultimate ambition is to build a virtual brain for your finances, an AI partner. So the real question for all of us is, as this tech gets closer and closer to reality, are we ready to hand over the keys?